So after nearly 2 years or so, I'm finally back in the market to actually buy a car. A new car, at least new to me. And I'm always excited about this part because I basically get to go out there and find a car I actually like. And by the way, I'm a guy who just like cars overall, okay? But I find myself looking for cars that are 5 years to 8 years old. And I'm always like, there's a lot of technology that's in these new cars that I actually want, but I don't want to shell out like an extra $5,000 or $10,000 for Apple CarPlay or a backup camera or this feature or that feature. So I basically made this video not just for you guys, to be honest, but also for myself, because there are 15 different little upgrades you can make to a car that's a bit older, but you can basically get the same technology for like a fraction of the price without having to shell out tens of thousands of dollars. Instead of paying, for example, $30K for a car, you could pay $5,000 for a car, add in all these upgrades, and then boom, you're back to having exactly what you want for a good price. And by the way, my car was basically a Toyota Prius 2014, and I'm actually selling it in the market. So once that sells and I get that cash, I'm gonna use that cash plus potentially a little bit more to actually buy me a new car. By the way, am I going sedan or SUV? The answer is I'm probably just gonna go sedan. SUVs, they're all the hype right now, they're all the craze right now, but guess what? They're a bigger car. Thus, they basically cost a ton of money as far as gas, and I don't really need an SUV whatsoever. So I'm probably gonna go with a regular sedan, 4 doors. I'm gonna be just fine with that. Now, as always, guys, like this video and top about also subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified. Now, one of the very first upgrades you can basically make to a car, by the way, use this video to get ideas. So this way, when you buy a car, you can basically afford to pay for in cash. That's the whole rule, right? You want to buy a car you can afford to pay for in cash, no payments, no problems, it's basically yours. Then you can actually just make all these upgrades yourself little by little, and this way you don't have to justify financing a car just for a few features here and there, okay? Now, the first feature is going to be you can actually add a backup camera to a car. I don't know why, but I used to think like if a car did not come with this, then you cannot install it. But that's just ridiculous. So yeah, you can actually add a backup camera, whether it's a backup camera installed into the info statement, like into the infotainment unit, or for example, a backup camera just that's basically independent. So you basically just hang it somewhere in the car, you're able to see exactly what's going on, and then boom. And you can actually do this installation either yourself or pay a mechanic to do it. It can cost anywhere from $50 to $100, and that's basically a lot cheaper than having to buy a car that comes already with a backup camera. Upgrade number 2 is going to be Apple CarPlay or Android CarPlay. Now this or Android Auto, because I don't know, they try to be different, okay? But Android Auto. Now the Alpine system is probably one of the best systems out there, but you don't have to spend that much money on it. If you go on Amazon and you type in, for example, Apple CarPlay system for your car, model and everything, they find a model that fits your car. You can actually get it for like around $100 to $200 and so on, and then boom, you get exactly what you want. By the way, do not go for wireless Apple CarPlay. Although it is cool, it's not really needed, and you don't have to pay all that extra money for it, because most of the times you're gonna have your phone plugged in anyway. Like, what are you doing with your phone using it in your car independently anyway? So you don't have to go wireless whatsoever. Number 3, by the way, this upgrade I probably would not do myself because I seen it. They take apart like the whole front side of the car. I can't do that. I'll probably break something, so I'd rather just pay somebody to do it for me. But if you know how to do it, then you can probably do it yourself, and you can basically save a lot of money too. Now, number 3 is going to be upgrade your headlights, okay, to LED. Now, easily, this can cost anywhere from $50 to a few $100s, but it means those old headlights with the bad designs, or maybe they're not bright enough, you can actually just get it fixed and actually just install new ones without having to go for a more modern car. You can actually just turn your older car into a more modern car. Now, number 4, this is just gonna be like a little fancy feature, but it's basically a side door projector. You know when you see those cars like the Lexus or the Mercedes, and whenever you open them, like on the side, on the floor, there's a projector of the entire symbol of that car, like Lexus or Audi. Well, you can actually just install that on any normal car just by taking out, for example, the little piece on the bottom, and it costs around like $35. And this is actually something you can actually do yourself. It's basically like plug and play, but $35, you get the little feature. So when you open up your Toyota, it shows Toyota, or your little Lexus that's like a 2005, when you open up, it shows Lexus also. It's like a cool feature if you're interested in those things. Me personally, I don't really care, but it is cool. $35, not bad, okay? Now, number 5, you can actually get a digital display gauge that basically stores, for example, a speedometer, the voltage in your car, also, for example, the temperature, all that information that older cars don't get you. You can basically just get, for example, a gauge, and for $50, you can get all that information without having to think about, for example, how much more money am I gonna have to pay to get a more modern car. Now, obviously, it depends on the car, because usually it's going to be cars that are OBD2 friendly, because the older models, like I'm talking about like 19 somethings, those cars basically don't have that one. So it's like the plug-in thing that goes underneath the car where you put the scanner to. I'm not a mechanic, but I am telling you all the info you basically need. Now, number 6 is going to be a car wireless charger, and also like a GPS that's basically just gonna be your phone. So a lot of people want, for example, wireless charging or a GPS. Like if you cannot afford, for example, a new infotainment system with the Apple CarPlay, I found that you really don't need those things. In reality, you have your phone. So if you get, for example, a little stand for your phone to basically just put it on in the car in the air vents, like on Amazon for like 20 bucks or whatever. You put the car there. Well, you put the car there. What is this thing called? You put the phone there, and you basically just get the other part and you plug it into the car. You get the USB. Boom, your phone's charging, right? You can get the wireless one if you want to. So you put it on and wirelessly charges or whatever. But you also get the GPS right on your phone, and you don't need to spend $200 whatsoever. You spend 30 bucks and basically you got the same thing, okay? That's also the thing, because my friend, he upgraded to basically like to get like the Apple CarPlay with the Alpine system. Is pretty cool. It cost him some money. They're like $400, and I didn't do it. I was like, I'm just gonna keep this thing, right? Because I just basically just put it on there. I put my phone there, and I get the GPS. Someone's calling me. I pick up with the car too, with the Bluetooth. So what's the big deal? By the way, you can also get, like, for really old cars, you can actually get where you plug in the aux, and the aux has like this little Bluetooth thing. So you can actually get Bluetooth on very old cars just by getting that system too on Amazon for like $15 or so. Okay, it's not that expensive. Now, number 7 is going to be a steering wheel leather like wrap, or for example also like seating like covers too. Okay, so if you have a car, it's kind of all steering wheels, not how you like it, you can always just get, for example, by the way, some people actually stitch the leather on. They actually sell it on Amazon too, but you can just get like the cover that fits your car, and then boom, you put it on. Now you get like a little fancier thing. Or you can actually just get, for example, all your seating, just have them covered too. This way you actually get like a more fresher style. Now, is it gonna be like leather? Probably not, okay, but it does make it a little bit more better, okay? Now, you also have number 8. You can add actually LED light. Okay, so yeah, you can actually add LED, like LED lights, underneath your car seating. So this way, whenever you open your car, you can have it, for example, projecting a certain type of color. You know, like when you get into Mercedes, if you've ever gotten into Mercedes or you've seen those videos, and you actually just go in and you see like all these neon lights, and it's like blue underneath the chairs. So cool stuff. You can actually just plug in LED lights under there with some tape and have it connected to the car, and whenever you open the car, you turn it on, boom, it shows blue, shows red, shows white, projects the same exact thing, and it's like a lot less expensive than Mercedes overall. So it's all to you on how you actually want to do it. Then you also have number 9. This is like a very simple one, but it does make your car like a little bit more fancy. Okay, you get window tints. I got that for my Prius, and it's actually pretty good. I would not get super dark tints, because although it looks cool, it is not cool when night comes, okay? Because it gets very hard to be able to see, and you have to roll down the windows, and it depends where you live, right? It might not be the safest thing to do. But yeah, you can basically just get, for example, tints. I would not go too dark because it doesn't make any sense, okay? But tints make a difference. You also have number 11. rubber mats for your car. So you know, a lot of cars, they come with, for example, like these carpet type things, these carpet type mats, and they get dirty, you have to wash them. You can actually just get upgrade with the rubber mats, like, you know, like the rugged ones or whatever, on Amazon for like 50 bucks. You order them, they come in, you can cut them to size of any problems, and then boom, you put them on. And whenever your car gets dirty or the mats get dirty, you basically grab them, you shake them out, put a little water in them, boom, they're back in. And they don't take as much work as, for example, the whole type mat, what's that word, carpet type mats that usually older cars basically have. Why would they have those? I don't know. Then you also have, for example, power folding mirrors. Okay, so that's like a big feature that I always wanted in a car, because whenever I park my car like on the street, I'm always scared that, okay, so if somebody's coming, I have to fold in the whole like the side mirrors, right? This way somebody doesn't hit it. But what if it just basically, I walked out, I closed the car, the power folds by themselves? That's pretty cool, right? My friend had a car, it was like a Kia, and his car did. I was like, why doesn't my car do it? It was like a Toyota, same year, same everything, but it just did not happen like that. But there are cars where you can basically just get power folding like side mirrors. You can basically get them upgraded, pay like a few $100s, have a mechanic install it, and then boom, you have power folding mirrors without having to get, for example, a luxury trim or a brand newer car or whatever it is. Okay, so yeah, you actually have those. And if you actually have a car, for example, where the mirrors are like fixed and you can't actually pull them in even manually, you can actually upgrade those too to ones that basically go in manually, or for example, go in power folded. Okay, all depends on your budget. It's not like super needed, but it is super comfortable. This one, when you lock a car, does it automatically, and it's pretty cool, and it's pretty safe. This way you don't get your mirror ran over. I've seen that happen before. Now, number 12 is going to be car parking sensor kit. Okay, so you know, whenever you're parking like one of those fancy cars and it goes ding 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 when you're getting close to the wall, you can actually get that installed. I did not know that. So you can actually get that on Amazon for like a few like $100 or so. Not a few $100, like less than $100, I would say. And you can actually just get that, but it's not gonna be as cool because you have to put in like all the little pins around the car, and then you have to put like this little display on top of your, for example, like board, and whenever it's actually like backing up, it will ding and it will show you the proximity to where you're actually gonna hit the wall or not. Okay, so my point is, okay, all these cool features, they are available. Then you can tell it didn't come with your car, but if you're really interested in the feature, you can actually get that without having to get a super expensive car. Then you also have number 13, tire pressure monitor. Okay, so yeah, you can get, for example, you know, when on your tire, the little thing that you want to screw to actually put air into it, well, there are special ones that are connected via, for example, wireless, and you can actually have a little display on your whole like dashboard, and it actually shows exactly what your tire pressures are at all times. So this way, whenever a tire is running low or a tire popped, you actually get notified right ahead and say, hey, this tire is like losing a bunch of pressure, there might be a problem. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And the cool thing is, again, you don't have to upgrade your car. My point is with this whole video is, here are things that you probably didn't know to upgrade your car without having to upgrade your car and pay a ton of money. Then you also have, for example, you could also wrap your car. So let's say you actually bought a car and you don't like the color, and maybe you bought a car for a specific reason because you got a good deal on it, but the color's not the one you want. You can actually wrap the car, which is cool, but usually it costs a good amount of money. So this upgrade is up to you, but if you could find someone to wrap your car for a good price, not just, for example, for like the advertising stuff, we could actually wrap it for a color, whether it's matte black or whatever color you want, and it gives it the style you actually want for that car. And lastly, number 15, you could actually add, for example, fog lights. You know, a lot of cars, when you have the basic trim, they don't come with the fog lights, and they actually just come with these little fake vents in the bottom. Well, you can pop those little fake vents out of your car, and you can have a mechanic install some fog lights down there, and then boom, your car looks like it's the upper trim and not like the basic trim. Overall, guys, these are 15 different ideas when it comes to upgrading your cars. I could plug in, for example, different links here, Amazon, in the comments or in the description, but overall, because most people have, for example, different car models, you will have to search around and find exactly which actually fits you the best. Okay, well, not you the best, well, your car, right? Because all the cars are different, okay? So just verify that. So whenever you're actually car hunting, don't be as worried as, for example, hey, this car doesn't have Apple CarPlay, doesn't have a backup camera. All those things can be installed, so it's not a big deal. So when I'm looking for a car now, I'm not as worried about that. I'm more worried about buying a good, reliable vehicle that hasn't been beaten down, it doesn't have, for example, hundreds of thousands of miles on it. And I get, for example, a lesser trim because, hey, I can just upgrade these things if I want to. But guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. On top of up here is another video. Over here is my Facebook, subscribe. And as always, Long Term Team officially out.